Hey y'all, welcome to this week's show. We're continuing in our series of growing your survival herb garden from my book, Growing Your Survival Herb Garden, for preppers, permaculture people, homesteaders, and everybody else, and that's probably not even the right order, but you get the gist of it. And you may have noticed this book is featured in the Prepper Broadcasting Black Friday catalog. So if you haven't checked that out, there's a link in the show notes. Uh, all the hosts, we put out our stuff and hope that it will make for good gifts for you and your family, and your loved ones, and your friends, or for yourself. And when someone gives me an Amazon gift card or something, I'm always like, well, what am I going to do with this? So I go on Amazon because I don't shop on Amazon a lot, and usually I'll find a couple of books that I want to buy, or maybe a tool or something. Well, all my books are actually on Amazon. So if you're looking for a Christmas gift, my cookbook, my religious books, all my herb books, I'm publishing my 12th book next week, by the way. So wish me well. And one thing you can't buy through Amazon, though, is my woodwork and my baskets. That you can get from Judson Carroll, woodcraft.substack.com. I haven't posted anything in a few days. Basically because a lady got in touch with me and asked me to carve a couple of spoon sets for her to give as gifts to her family members, and it's been a sort of a big project. So that's a great idea. If you look on there and you see something you like, please buy it and give it as a gift for somebody. If you don't, or if you do, but it's already been sold, which was the case with this. She wanted the traditional cooking spoon set. I put one up and it went in like an hour. And she said, "Can you do two more for me?" And that means riving boards from a log. That means cutting them down. That means whittling them out. That means seasoning them and oiling them. And so that's what I've been doing since she asked. If I can reasonably get you that gift in time to give to your loved ones for Christmas, I will take the commission. Basically, all that means is the price doesn't change. That spoon set was $50. Pretty reasonable. I mean, ridiculously reasonable compared to other carvers. I won't say the name, but I saw the same guy doing a similar set for like $280. So I mean, $50 is and that includes shipping. So, but you just pay up front. That's what it takes. I mean, it's just saying I will. I'm reserving this, and then I just go ahead and carve whatever you ask and put it in the mail. And so what? It's the end of November. I could take another 5, 10, 15. Actually, I could probably do about 15 commission spoons. So don't hesitate. If there's something you've seen on the site, or you've got an idea. A salt bowl like I did in that bird form that's on the site. I've never offered one of those for sale. That was a commission piece. Baskets do take more time. I'll only take maybe 2 commission basket clients because a basket can take 20 to 40 hours, and then I sell it for less than $100 usually. So that's a huge commitment, and really it's something I do because I enjoy it. It's pretty unreasonable, the price I sell. I should be asking 3-4 times as much. So, but do check out judsoncarrollwoodcraft.substack.com. See if there's something on there you like. And if it's for sale, go ahead and buy it. And if you say, this item has sold, I'd like a piece like this, or I need 2 or 3, let me know now, and I'll get it to you within a couple of weeks. We'll get it there, plenty of time for Christmas. If you wait much longer, I won't be able to do it. Knowing the mail, the U.S. mail, I really wouldn't want to take a commission more or less than, I should say, 2 weeks out from Christmas. Now, I mean, if you order something off my site, it's already done. I can put it in the mail that day. I send you a tracking number. You're going to have it in 3, 4. Well, I just sent some spoons to some ladies in California, 2 different customers, and they were there within 3 days. So, I mean, I was thrilled with that. I mean, it's U.S. Post Office, USPS ground is what I use, and you get a tracking number with it, and that's cool. But they get busy getting toward Christmas, so if you're looking for gifts, it'd be better if you go ahead and order them now, And if you need a commission piece, specific request, please go ahead and order it within the next week or two, because I don't trust the post office. I know how quickly, it's going to take me a couple of days to carve a spoon. I mean, it really is a handmade thing that takes time and effort. Then a couple of days to dry, get it, oiled with walnut oil, packed up and shipped. But I don't trust the post office to get things there that quickly as we get close to Christmas. So if you want to order something, I would encourage you to do it as quickly as possible, but at least within the next 2-3 weeks, right? I mean, we'll probably be good. But the books, you can order them at Amazon, and Amazon gets them to you in the blink of an eye. I don't think anybody beats Amazon. And if it comes down to a last-minute gift, remember a subscription to my Substack newsletter. The person gets free ebooks, or you could just order them an ebook, from me. And if you forgot and it's Christmas morning and you need something, email me and tell me, I forgot to buy a book for my mother-in-law. Here's, I'm I'm buying a book right now off your website for $9.99. I'll get it to you within an hour. No problem. Okay, I'll be online unless the power goes out or something. And worst case scenario, we did have a terrorist attack last Thanksgiving, so it's not beyond the bounds of possibility. But even then, I was able to get somewhere and find Wi-Fi to check my email at least once that day. So I'll get you the stuff as quickly as I possibly can. So remember me for long-term gifts that would take a little while to get there, or if you need something last minute, absolutely. And do check out the Prepper Broadcasting catalog. You might see a lot of things in there. There's stored food and other types of books and tools and things make some great gifts. Really good. So let's talk today about evening primrose. This is a recognized medicinal herb. The oil of the seed is popular for women's issues and skin complaints. Lesser known is that the leaves are astringent and sedative, particularly good for asthma, whooping cough, and diarrhea. Even less well known is that evening primrose is a delicious edible. That's actually the way I usually use it. The flowers are great in salads. The root, though, that's the prize. That's something. Root vegetables really stretch out your diet. Everybody knows potatoes. That's your staple, right? Carrots and parsnips and anything. Jerusalem artichokes, if you want to put it in the context of a wild vegetable. These are things you can store and count on through the winter. You can grow evening primrose in your garden. Super easy to grow. I mean, really, I'm not even going to get into how to grow it. It's just, this is one of those that you may find growing wild, or you can put in your garden. It's pretty. No one's going to think anything of it, and you can have all these wonderful roots out there. And, worst case scenario, you need food. You can go out in the winter and dig these up. The plant's died back. You know where it is, right? But you can go out there in the winter and dig these up, and then they actually taste more like parsnips than anything else. How do I describe a parsnip? Most people these days have never eaten a parsnip. A parsnip is like a cross between a carrot and a turnip, if that makes any sense. Really good roasted, excellent in soups, and I mean, this is one I'd grow as a survival food as well as being medicinal, because the young shoots of the plant are really probably the way I eat it most. They're sort of asparagus-like. They come up in the spring, and that's a go-to for me. Really, I have I always try to include it in the garden, and as I said, very medicinal as well. Now, one that's really interesting and kind of along the lines of evening primrose is red clover. Now, red clover, it's considered a woman's herb. It has some estrogenic type properties. Plants for a Future says red clover is a safe and effective herb with a long history of medicinal usage. It is commonly used to treat skin conditions, normally in combination with other purifying herbs such as Artich, that's burdock, rumex, it's dock, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. It is a folk remedy for cancer of the breast, and concentrated decoction being applied to the site of the tumor in order to encourage it to grow outwards and clear the body. I'm not saying that's going to work or not. I give no recommendations for cancer because It's wrong to give people false hope, and bad people um, give herbalism a bad reputation for saying this herb will cure cancer. No, I'm not saying that. And I don't know whether red clover helps at all with tumors of the breast. You'll have to look into that yourself. Okay. But anyway, flavonoids in the flowers are estrogenic and may be of benefit in the treatment of menopausal complaints. That's where it's mostly used these days. The flowering heads are alternative, which means kind of gradually brings you back to health. Anti-scrofulous means helps with infected glands around the throat. Antispasmodic, it helps against cramps and muscle pain and such. Aperient, a detergent, diuretic, expectorant, sedative, tonic. I think you got all that. It is also has shown anti-cancer properties. It said that poultices of the herb have been used as local applications to cancerous growths. Internally, the plant is used in the treatment of skin complaints, especially eczema and psoriasis, and it's very good for that. I've used it. People I know who've used it, who may have asked my advice, and I say I don't give medical advice, but here's an idea. May have used it to good effect. And cancers of the breast, as we said, ovaries and lymphatic system, chronic degenerative diseases, gout, whooping cough, and dry cough. It's actually very good for coughs and asthma, by the way. The plant is normally harvested as it comes into flower, and some reports say that only the flower is used. The toxic, indolazidine alkaloid sulforamine is often found in diseased clover. So always make sure it's healthy. The healthy plant doesn't have that. But however, this alkaloid, which is actually toxic, is being studied for its anti-diabetic and anti-AIDS activity. So very interesting plant. Now, how do I use this plant? Very rarely herbally. Very rarely herbally. Except for coughs and such, where I find it very good. Wild red clover grows all over the place in the mountains. Anywhere the sunlight can get to a patch of grass, you're going to find clover. And it's going to be that red clover. And the flowers are sweet. They're delicious. I limit my consumption because they do have an estrogenic quality. I have never even considered growing this in the garden because it grows wild everywhere. Now, if you live where clovers don't grow wild, you really want to consider growing clovers. The reason is they're leguminous plants. They actually absorb nitrogen from the air and fix it in the soil. That's really unique. Nitrogen-based fertilizers give nitrogen to plants that cannot take nitrogen from the air and fix it in their roots. These leguminous plants, these clovers and many others, including cowpeas and, mimosa trees. I mean, anything in the family, basically. Kudzu is an excellent. You ever wonder why kudzu grows so rampantly, I should say? Or wisteria grows like crazy? It's because it can fertilize itself by pulling nitrogen out of the air and putting it in the soil through a fungal relationship. But anyway, before grass became popular, most people planted white clover in their lawns. It didn't need to be mown. It grows and it actually fertilizes the soil. The more of these plants you can get in your ground, the healthier your tomatoes are going to be and your cucumbers and you're going to, it's like free fertilizer that's actually good for the soil and doesn't exhaust it with chemicals. So whether you're looking at this herbally or whether you're looking at it as what we might call, a nitrogen fixing plant or what they would call a green manure, that it's pulling in all this nitrogen, you can actually kind of compost it down and rot it. And it's just incredibly rich in everything all your other plants need for growth, to grow vibrantly and healthy. Your leguminous plants, the whole legume family, fantastic, really. Even up to locust